me start with my introduction first, and then I will go through the course content and what will be the nature of this course, batch and all. So my name is Rohan, and I carry more than a decade of experience working in a network security environment. I have worked with various customers, clients across the world, and I am being part of prestigious security companies who deals in the cyber securities and all. So what I bring on the table is the
Yeah, guys, just a minute. I think he's lost, so he's joining again.
चल वापस चलते हो गया लाइफ
okay, sorry, I think my network was gone. Okay, so I was saying that what I bring on the table is the working experience with the several customers and like the challenges what the users, customers, and the production engineers faces. So that is what I will also try to embed into this course in order to give you an insight how to tackle with any of the problem challenges. Okay. Now that being said, this batch or course is designed in order to give you the in-depth insight about the FortiGate firewall. So our primary focus is going to be the product, which is of the Fortinet, and that's an NGFW firewall, which is a FortiGate firewall. Okay, so the course is actually the content of the course is based upon the NSE 4 and 7. And let me share the screen and show you that. Confirm me if you are able to see my screen. Right, is my screen visible?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, okay, let me just hide all these things, panels and all. Okay, and please, if in case you, if I lose my audio or something, please do speak out. Okay, I'm sitting in a remote area, so sorry for the fluctuation in the network. Okay, so as I was saying that this course is designed in order to focus with reference to the FortiGate firewall in and out. So the course content is strictly based upon the NSE 4 and 7 module. The screen, what you are seeing is pointing out to the NSE 4 section 1, which is focusing on the FortiGate security aspects. And then it is followed by the FortiGate section 2. Okay, that is covering the routing, SD-WAN, VDOM, VPNs, HA, and proxies, right? So if I will go through each and every topics, you will see that it is having the primary focus with reference to your firewall introductions, okay? And what is the concept of the security fabric, which will help the firewall to integrate with the third-party vendor products or the similar vendors of products. So security fabric gives the firewall an visibility of the entire network where it is deployed. Okay, so we will see how you can integrate several vendor products to the FortiGate firewall. And then it is followed by the configurations like policies concept, netting concepts, firewall authentication in terms of administrations. Okay, we will also see how we can integrate the firewall with our remote authentication process, or like passive authentication like LDAP radius. Okay, so we will also see onto that point of view. Then we will see the loggings and like monitoring, how to and where to see the logs, how you can interpret the logs, how you can monitor the traffic stats of any of the services that you might be hosting on your firewall. Okay, so those loggings and like monitoring sections will give us an insights of the logging. We will also see the firewall usage in terms of the certificates. How does the firewall make a use of the certificate? What is the use of certificate? What is certificate? Okay, and based upon that, we will also see the UTM features. These are UTM features. Please note, apart from the listed one, we will also be covering DNS filter. We will be covering file filter, video filter as well. Okay, so there are 7 UTM features what we are going to cover uh, in the in this NSE4 module. Okay, now the next one is with reference to the VPN. So in the VPN technology, we are going to focus on the SSL and the IPsec, as you can see in here, right? And there is one more type of the IPsec VPN, which is part of the NSE7, which I'm like going to show you in the next slide. But for now, just know that in the routing section, we are going to focus on a static, PBR, OSPF, BGP. Okay, so these are the types of routing that we are going to focus on. We will see how does the firewall process the routes, how we can just like manage our routes in order to mitigate the attacks. Like for an example, someone is trying to spoof into our network and all. So how we can optimize our routing in order to ensure that no one can get into our devices and all. Okay. So apart from that, there's a concept of an SD-WAN, okay, which we are going to cover, VDOM concept, clustering concept, that is the HA, the firewall behaving as an proxy, okay, so mostly in terms of an inspection, that is what we are going to see, and the basic troubleshooting, okay, the debugs and all, that is what we are going to cover. Now, if I show you the NSE7 requirement, or the topic, the modules of the NSE7, you will see here that most of the topics are same. See, security fabric is structured, traffic and station monitoring, right? That's logging and like monitoring, routing, FortiGuard, HA, OSPF, BGP, web filter, IPS. We have covered all that in NSE4 also, right? VPN is done. This is an additional VPN, which is also called as a hub and a spoke setup, right? So that is the AD VPN for you. So that's an additional topic, and we also have an SD-WAN. Okay. So apart from the AD VPN, most of the topics are the same as what we saw in the NSE4. Correct? So now the point is, this course will include the NSE4 and 7 level of knowledge. Now see why I'm saying level of knowledge, because since the content of the NSE4 and 7 is same, the difference is at the extent of the knowledge. Let me give an example of that. For an example, let's say, okay, let's say for example, there is a feature, okay, which says that in the session helper, right, we need to have a SIP based session helper. Okay. Now, if you know the NSE4 level knowledge, you would know how to enable the SIP session helper in the FortiGate firewall. Okay, so config system session helper, and then you will edit SIP, and then you will enable that session helper. Okay, so that is something you will know. But if you know the NSE7, then you would know how you need a session helper. I would request you to be on mute if you do not have a question. Thank you. So what I was saying is that based upon the NSE4 knowledge, it is expected from you that you should be able to manage and configure and do a basic troubleshooting of the FortiGate firewall. Whereas if you have an NSE7 based knowledge, then it is expected from you that you must be carrying an in-depth inside out functioning of the firewall. So like I was quoting an example of the session helper for the SIP, right? So NSE4 will tell you how to do it, but NSE7 will tell you why do you need to do it. Okay, what will went wrong? If I do not use the SIP session helper, what went wrong? Okay, so If you want to know the root cause, the behind the scene action, the NSE 7 gives you that knowledge. And since the topics are same, so why not to start and finish it to the highest level, right? That's why we have combined this course in order to complete NSE 4 and 7 both and in a single go. Okay, so whatever the topic that we are going to touch, if let's say, for example, I'm going to touch a cluster topic, I will start with the basics and we will try to see each and everything that happens in a cluster. Okay, and once we are done with that, then we will try to prove the same concept in the lab. Okay, so this is how we are like going to do. Is there any question till this point regarding the course content? Any doubts? I will take that as no. Fine. Now,
Hello.
yes, please. Is there something?
Yeah, hi, this is Diwakar. Why we have here routing protocols, OSPF, BGP?
Why we have?
Yes,
So it's like why we have routing protocols in the firewall.
yes,
Without the routing, why it's like how would the layer 3 device would know that how to send out the packet, right?
yes. We are using static routing, right?
Static is not that efficient, man. Static is something which you can do for few of your subnets, but
Okay.
when you are about to manage hundreds or thousands of subnets, it's next to impossible task to have all the routes defined manually, right?
Yes, yes,
So that is why you have OSPF and like BGP. The whole purpose of OSPF and BGP is to give you a ease hand to manage larger to largest network. If you want to manage 10 lakh of routes, BGP can do it in a click, right? So,
yes,
but if I ask you to configure backup routes and primary routes for thousands of subnet, that is a nightmare. Okay, and not only that, it is also about the convergence, right? Let's say if I like may have, let's say I am someone who is very keen to do my job and all, and I have done the 10,000 static route configuration. Let's say for an example, okay? Now, even if I have done that, don't you think that that will spike my CPU usage? Every time a like packet is coming to the firewall, what will happen? Firewall will perform a routing lookup. Now, if your routing table is big, it will have a certain impact on your CPU usage, right? Your CPU usage will be high. And if your CPU usage is high, it will have an adverse impact on overall firewall performance. Okay, so that is also one of the major concern. That's why OSPF and like BGP is one of the mostly widely used protocol in the entire network. Got it?
yes, I got it.
Okay. Anything else?
And Rohit, hi Akash here.
Yes,
So
please.
will you cover the 40 manager in this course?
No, there is no FMG or FAZ covered. It's like as a product, no. But like I said, security fabric is a concept which will let us know that how we can integrate the FortiGate firewall with the FAZ and FMG. Okay, so that is something what we are going to do.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, but as a it's like separate product, no.
Okay.
Anything else, guys? With reference to the course content? So to summarize, let me like summarize this in a single statement. We will cover each and every topic that is related to FortiGate firewall. No topic left with reference to FortiGate firewall. Okay, make sense now?
And one more thing, when we are talking about the troubleshooting level, so you will start from beginning to advanced, correct?
Of
When we're
course,
talking about, yeah.
of course.
Okay.
See, since you asked this question, so let me tell you upfront. In my batch, if or even if you query with my previous batch guys or someone, I always say one thing: you don't have to make notes in my class because everything is going to be recorded. Okay,
Correct.
I
Correct.
will do all the labs at first. I never ask anyone to do the lab which I have not done myself. So I will be showing you everything. Okay. Third, whatever concept that I'm going to tell you, my focus is entirely on the concept. That is something which I will prove you in the lab. If I do not prove you in the lab, if I do not show you in the logs, do not trust that concept. Simple. Okay. After all, we all have to trust the logs, right?
Correct,
If
correct,
I am going to deal with my client's customer, why they are going to believe what I say? Because I am like forming my opinion based upon what? Logs, right? Yes or no?
correct.
So
Yes, correct.
logs is the whole point. Now, last, my entire focus is on the concept. I don't want anyone to learn command lines and all. Do not worry about that. Leave that to me. I will give you the tips and tricks and certain supporting documents which will help you to work on to the CLI. That is not a big deal. Okay.
Sure.
I don't want anyone to focus onto the configuration part. That is something which I will show you, but your entire focus should not be onto the configuration part. Reason behind that is because even if you miss something here or there, you can search on Google and like do your work, right? So that's not a problem. Okay. What I want everyone to focus is on the concept. And that's my whole motto of the batch. Learn concept from me. That's all. If I start VPN, IPsec VPN, you should know each and everything from inside to out. The reason behind that is because once you know the inside to out of the VPN, once you know the essence of each and every message that goes inside the VPN, then only you will be capable enough to troubleshoot the problem related to the VPN. Because troubleshooting does not means fixing the problem. Troubleshooting means narrowing down the problem. There can be 10 reasons which could have caused a VPN down, right? Maybe the VPN would have been down because of congestion, because of DPD problem, because of keep alive message failure, because of your ISP intermittent problem, maybe like because of SPI mismatch. There can be number of reasons for that.
Correct.
But what has impacted my customer, right? So you have to narrow down the problem. And narrowing down the problem can only be done by a person who has strong hold on his basics. Got it? Else, no one can do it, man. No one can do it. Okay. So that's why the entire focus is going to be on the concepts to like build the troubleshooting skills. And like I've said, I have done troubleshooting a lot, and I still do troubleshooting a lot. So just give me a moment. Yeah, okay. So what happens is, so yes, to answer your like question, we are going to do a lot of troubleshootings, okay? And I will tell you from the basics how to look and all what are the tools you have to use, where to use, why to use. So those things will be answered. Okay.
Sure. Sure. Thank you.
Anything else, guys?
Hi Rohan, this is Chaitanya here.
Question is, do we have any other prerequisites other than routing that we need to know before attending the course?
Just give me a moment, guys. Okay, just like give me a moment. Okay, sorry, guys. Yes, there was some question. Can you please repeat that?
Yeah, do we need any other prerequisites before say starting the class other than routing, switching, and all?
Okay, so as far as prerequisite is concerned, if you know what is IP, okay, if I have written the word like this 192.168.1.10/24. So if you know, okay, hey, this is the IP which has the network ID of 192.168.1.0/24. Broadcast IP is 1.255 and it's a class C IP. If you know this, okay, this course is for you. If I have used a word ARP, that okay, hey, since the source machine does not know about the MAC address of the destination, hence the system is going to raise an ARP query. So if the ARP word is making sense to you, this course is for you. That's all. I don't need the advanced knowledge or something, because that is something which I will tell you. But if you know what is IP, if you know what is ARP, that is sufficient for me. If you know what is TCP IP, what that is three-way handshake, right? TCP. If you know
Yeah.
that, that's sufficient for me. Okay.
Okay.
See, why I'm saying this, because when I will tell you something, these are the common terms which I will be using very frequently, right? So if like these terms will not make sense to you, so you will find it hard to get the concept, right? So if you know these basic terms of networks and all, that is okay, nothing else. Okay, so that's why I'm saying that the course assumes you have the basic knowledge of networking. That's all. Clear?
Okay.
Rohan, whether we are going to cover the topics like the deep packet inspection and packet filtering.
Of course. Our firewall is a next gen firewall, man.
Sure.
Next
Yes,
gen
yes.
firewall means that it must have a power to inspect the traffic, right? So the whole point is, how would I know? Let's say, see, thank you for asking me that question. Let me give an example now.
Yeah.
Web filtering is used to control the web traffic, right? If I have to block a google.com, I can configure it on the web filter. I will show you. Open the web filter, just add the google.com in the URL static entry action block and done. Gone. The google.com will not work. But if I ask you, what did the web filter do? How did the web filter know that the client is sending a google.com traffic? How did it know, right? So
Yes.
what it saw in the packet, that is an SE7. Okay, so how is the firewall seeing the traffic? Something is hidden, right? I am encrypting the data and I'm like sending it over the network. How did the firewall see it? What I need to do on the firewall so that it sees such a packet, right? And why? Why I need, let's say, for example, someone says that, okay, hey, if you want your firewall to see every communication, make sure that your firewall CA certificate must be installed on the client machine. Okay, fine. But why? Why the CA certificate? What it will do, right? If I have not installed the firewall CA certificate on the client machine, what is going wrong? Got it? So if we know those answers now, it is easy for us to grasp the concept to not forget it in the future, right? Because we know what is the problem, then the solution. Got it? So everything is going to be covered in like that. That's why I'm saying my course is going to be entirely focused on the concepts. Concepts, and concepts, nothing else. Okay? We have to learn that. Once we are good with that, troubleshooting is automatically covered. Fine?
Can we are covering capturing data using virus RP troubleshooting?
Huh,
Yes.
of course. I will show you the packets. I will show you the debugs. Okay. Like I've said before, whatever concept I'm like telling you, that must be supported by a log, right?
Yes.
Leave that to me. I will prove that. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Anything else, guys, with reference to the course content? No? Okay. Now let me show you the lab. Just give me a moment, please. You see my screen? Just give me a yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. God, yes. Okay, fine. Thank you. Now, see here, this is once you enroll into the course and all, everyone will receive their respective URL link for the lab access and their respective username and password, okay, all over the email. And like I am accessing this email with reference to HTML5 console, so the same thing has to be done from your side as well. So let me stop this first and show you the lab. Stop all nodes. Close lab. So, okay. So when you will log in, you will see something like this. Okay. There are several labs that is like created. So I will do most of my labs on the basic lab. Okay. The diagram what we just saw when I access the lab, this is that basic lab. Okay. And like I was saying that my focus is on the concept, right? So let me prove that a statement with my lab structure also. See my lab, it's pretty simple, right? A window PC connected to a Cisco router connected to the firewall connected to the ISP. See, a linear configuration, linear topology, no complexity. Okay, why? Because in my working of 12 years of experience in the security network, I've learned one thing. If you know how a PC A is pinging PC B via a router, no matter what complex design I like give you, the ICMP will work in the same manner, yes or no? Right? TCP three-way handshake concept does not change based upon the vastness of the topology. Yes or no? It remains same. Correct? So the point is, if you know how the TCP three-way handshake work, what it carries, what are the TCP options, does it change in terms of if I'm having a very huge data center kind of an structure? Does it make a change? No. TCP three-way handshake options will behave or work in the same manner. Okay. So the focus is on the concept. My labs are very simple. I will show you each and everything here only. Now, apart from this lab, I also have like BGP lab. There's a separate lab for BGP, which you guys can practice on. I have cluster lab. Okay. My cluster lab is also very simple. Okay. There is also hub and spoke lab for the IPsec AD VPN. Okay. So that is something which we will be doing. There is also OSPF lab. Okay. So these are labs which you guys will be able to operate onto the OSPF or like BGP labs. So whatever requirement is there, we have the labs for that, or I can create the labs for that. Now, please note, you guys will be able to, what is the time? Okay, so you guys will be able to access the lab, do your own configurations and all, but you will not be able to create your own lab. So you cannot create your own topology. If any one of you is willing to practice something on your own custom topology, just show me that. I will create it in the class only for you. Okay. So that everyone can access. That's not a problem. As many labs you want me to create, I can create it for you. Okay. So all these labs, you can see these labs are created for the students only. So if someone asks to create some lab, okay, I have the authority to like form the lab for you. Okay. So just show me the diagram and I will do it for you. Okay. So that's not a problem. Clear? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any question with reference to lab before I proceed further? Anything? Okay, I will take that as no. So let me tell you about the class. Okay. So the class is going to be a weekday classes commencing from Monday to Friday, and it is going to be from 9 to 11. Okay, 2 hours of class. And this time is not fixed. If you guys want me to extend that, I'm happy to do it. If you want me to shorten it, I'm happy to do it. So the pace of the class is entirely upon the batch. I will not decide how quickly or how, it's like what will be the pace of the batch. Okay, that is entirely up to you guys. If you want me to go slow, I will go slow. If you want me to go too slow, I can go too slow. If you want me to pick up the pace, I will pick up the pace. Okay, but I follow it's like average pace and all. If you feel that you are okay with that, that's fine. Or you can always give me a feedback saying that, okay, please go slow or please take up a pace. It's up to you. Now, the mode of the communication of the batch is going to be strictly on English. Okay. Any queries will be answered in English. But if in case someone wants me to address his or her queries in some different language, then please note my other proficient language is Hindi, what I can use to explain you it's like certain concept or not. But like I said, the entire batch communication is going to be strictly on the English basis only, because the students will be from different parts of the country or the region. So Hindi is not a common language, right? So, but English is something which we all are compatible with. Okay, clear?
Yes.
Okay,
The timing is of this batch is 9:30 or 9 p.m.
9 p.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay, so basically today we start with 9:30. Now
Today
that's
is
what
the
I
demo just to give you the inside and out of the batch. So that's why 9:30. It's just in half an hour thing.
okay.
Okay.
By when we are expected to finish this batch?
I'm sorry, what?
By when we are expected to finish this batch? Approx.
See, the total hours what I would need is around 48 to 52 hours. Okay. But like that depends, like I said, it depends upon batch to batch. Some people are quick enough to grasp the concept, but if someone is it's like someone wants to repeat certain things, and also that will of course need some time to explain the things and all, right?
Yeah,
So,
fine.
so it like depends upon batch to batch. There is no hard time limit for that. It's up to you guys how you want to take up the batch in like what due course. Okay.
Yeah.
To be rest assured in